Longhorn Nation, what's going on? I'm back. BJ with Bad Talks. Back at it. Number 17 TCU comes into town. Texas got their hands full. Before I get going, I want to show you something. I sent out a picture of my son on Twitter, and Chris Del Conte, the athletic director, has been talking about, he's been sending people stuff in the mail if they had a cool picture of Burnt Orange Friday or whatever it is. So I got a DM from Chris Del Conte, or one of his staff members, said, hey, it had to be Chris Del Conte. It was his Twitter account. And he said, hey, send me your address. I got something for Austin. Austin's my son's name. So, man, he sent him a backpack, a coin, all kinds of stuff. But one of the coolest things he sent was from Coach Herman. Pretty cool, right? Autographed picture of Coach Herman. And then they wrote Austin a letter, a little note. I'm not going to, well, I'll read it. It says, it's great to hear you're such a big Longhorn fan. We know you're a fighter. We'll continue hard work and never give up. Keep on enjoying football. You're someone our entire team is able to look up to and see what determination means. We will do our best to make you proud. Hook 'em Horns. Coach Tom Herman, Texas Longhorns. And then he signed it, Hook 'em, Tom Herman. Pretty cool, right, man? My son was on cloud nine when he got that in. But, hey, let's get right to it. Like I said, number 17, TCU comes into town on Saturday, 3:30 Central on Fox. I wished it was kind of a night game so we can have the atmosphere that we brought for USC. But hey, let's get started early. Let's pack in the place and DKR, and let's get it crunk, man. Let's get this thing going. All right, so Texas beat USC last week, 37-14. Solid win for the Longhorns. We know that. TCU, hey, they took a tough loss to a very, very, very good Ohio State team. To a very good Ohio State team. I believe they lost 40-28. But TCU led a lot of that game. It was a back-and-forth football game, but mistakes killed TCU. They had a block punt. Their quarterback, Robinson, did a shovel pass, and it was intercepted and took to the house by a D lineman. You know, stuff like that just don't happen a whole lot. Happened to TCU that day, or TCU would have beat a very, very, in my opinion, probably the third best team in the country behind Alabama and Georgia. That's just my opinion. Ohio State's a darn good football team, and TCU took them to the limit. Now, I know some of you listeners probably not going to agree, and I know one of my best friends is probably not going to agree because of some of the text messages he sent me today. But I think TCU played out of their mind. I'm not sure TCU's good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, they got flat out speed all over the field. They got a good offense, a good defense. Do not get me wrong. The dudes are good. I don't think they're elite level like Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, Clemson, Oklahoma, for that matter. I really don't. I think they're at 17. I think they're probably the top between 15 and 20 team in the country. I really do. I think they played out of their mind. A&M only lost to Clemson by a couple points, and there's no way no way A&M is a top team in the country. And I'm not just hating on them because I hate them, but I'm just hating on them because they're a decent football team, but they haven't beaten a D1 school since November of last year. But we ain't going to go there. I am clowning a little bit on you, Aggies. Anyway. But, yeah, Texas got their hands full. TCU's a tough football team. Their quarterback, Robinson, he can run and throw the football. Once he started settling in that game, man, he was firing some missiles out through there. And those receivers, they can catch the football and run. They got that running back. I'm going to try to say his name, Alanalua. Big dude, and he's fast. But that number 6, Anderson, he broke a 94-yard run against Ohio State, and nobody come close to catching him, even in an angle. That dude was running. They call him the Jet. Yeah, the Jet. They call him the Jet there in TCU because he's fast. So, TCU's one of the top teams in the country in the rush offense. They had 203 yards rushing against a stout Ohio State team. So, Texas, you better be ready. That run game's coming. I highly anticipate Tom Orlando for the Texas Longhorns defensive coordinator to focus on the run and let Robinson throw the football around a little bit and put our corners and safeties out there 101. And, of course, we got the nickelback to roam there in the middle. but we got to stop the run. We'll touch more on that later when I get over to Texas. Right now, I'm kind of talking about TCU. But their offense is good. Offense is going to move up and down the field. They're in the top 40 percentile in total offense. So, I mean, they're dangerous. Don't get me wrong. They're dangerous. What I did see is Ohio State got some pass rush on them. Got a couple sacks, forced fumble, was in the backfield a lot. So, Bregan Hager, Aminu, those guys should get some pressure. And you know Ty Orlando is going to dial it up on them. But I felt like TCU wore down a little bit during that game. So, hopefully Texas could bring that pressure and wear them down some. Move over to defense. Their head coach, Gary Patterson, is as good as they come in the country when it comes to coaching defense. That guy gets his players to play defense. They were flying around the football. They were hitting. They got attitude. Now, I think what hurts TCU is they're a little smaller on their defensive line. They rely on their speed. And Ohio State caught them off guard with that a couple of times. A little screen pass went for a nice touchdown. Stuff like that. Speed blew right by it. Running back was gone. That's what you do with speed. Let's hope Tom Herman, because as you know, I'm not an insider by any means, but I know football. Tom Herman's calling the plays for Texas now, not Tim Beck. Look me in my eyes. Tom Herman is calling plays for the University of Texas. Yeah, you heard it here. Probably not first, but you heard it here. He's calling plays for Texas. Anyway, Tom Herman's got his hands full because I'm telling you, Gary Patterson coached some defense. Now, defensive line is small. They're not very big. Texas is going to be much bigger, and I hope they impose their will on them as the game goes on. But you know TCU's coming with it. They're very well coached. I don't think TCU has a whole lot of depth. I was listening and reading some stuff today and listening to some other podcasts and stuff like that, and it sounds like TCU don't have a whole lot of depth on defense. But the ones they throw out there, their top 14, if you will, are solid defensive players. So it's going to be tough for Texas. But like I said earlier, I think TCU played a little bit out of the league. That may be a little bit unfair because I haven't seen them play a whole lot. But the week prior, they didn't really impress me a whole lot. But they did. They did against Ohio State. They impressed me. But I think they played out of their league a little bit, kind of like I said earlier, kind of like the Aggies did against Clemson, because we all know they're going to take a beating against Bama this week. But moving over to Texas, talk about their offense. One of my favorite players on offense right now is Trey Watson. Watching Longhorn Network and seeing that kid, man, he's doing stuff on Twitter. He's trying to get fans to come out. The kid absolutely loves his move to Texas. Trey Watson, number 5, running back. Love the dude, man. He brings the right attitude to Texas. And the kid gets positive yards. I've said this the last 2 or 3 weeks. The kid gets positive yards. When in the past, as soon as the running back got hit, he went down. Daniel Young, he done that a lot last year. They just didn't make yardage after contact. Daniel Young's a lot better at it this year. But I think Trey Watson, I looked earlier. I couldn't find and see if Keontae Ingram's coming back this week. I hope so. We need Keontae Ingram. We need that size. We need that speed in there. But what I did like against USC, I didn't bring it up when I went over to USC earlier in the week. I like that Trey Watson was in there most of the game. Texas, we've been rotating running backs, rotating them in and out for several years now. Different series. Trey Watson was in there a majority of the game other than third down when some lead blocks and stuff for Ellinger. But he was in there most of the game. So I hope it's the same way this week, except for we need to sprinkle some Ingram in there quite a bit. I hope they split half and half if Ingram's up for the task. Offensive line, they got their hands full. TCU gets after you. TCU brings the heat. They're not going to rely on 3 and 4 rush. They're going to bring the heat. They're going to corner blitz. I noticed a lot of times when they do blitz or linebackers and stuff, one side of the field to play man, the DBs on the other side of the field to be a zone. What they want to do is get Sam looking. Me as a coach is what I would think. I didn't really look research into this, but me as a coach would think, all right, they're wanting the quarterback to look over a man. He's covered, but I probably got a man coming across the field over here, turn and throw it, and there's a linebacker that he thought was blitzing from this side, and it's standing there right in his way, and he's going to throw a pick. Don't be surprised if you see that this week. because he's expecting man to be on the backside and it's going to be a zone. That's going to happen a lot. Gary Patterson's going to bring the heat. Yes, our offense is up for a tough task, but I just think I think our defense is going to have to really, really shut down the run game. I'm not sure we're up for that task because I don't think we have any depth. I don't think Texas has any depth right now. We have depth, but it's young guys in the front seven. I'm not worried about our DBs a whole lot. I think our DBs and I didn't say on offense, our wide receivers can hold their own against their DBs. They got some smaller DBs. We got big guys out there. So our freshmen that are in the back end, I like to see Thompson a little bit more than Locke this week, and of course Davis and Chris Boyd on the outside. Also Roach, outside linebacker, defensive end type guy, broke his foot, so he's out 6 to 8 weeks. I said in week 2 I thought Roach was lazy. He played very well against USC. I thought he hustled, made some good tackles. He was one of the pep talks before the game. He's a leader, so we're gonna miss him. But some of these young guys, I hope they stand up and fill that role. I'm at 11 minutes, so I'm not really gonna ramble much on about how good TCU is and how well Texas played and who, whatever. I'm here to make my prediction. This is a tough one for me. All right, guys, this one hurts, and I've been thinking about it all day. And again, I do first take. I don't do any more takes than this one. TCU is a 2.5-point favorite. I don't pick spreads. I don't do that kind of stuff because I'm definitely not that good. TCU's beat Texas 4 years in a row. I think Texas finally gets it done and upsets TCU at home. And DKR, rowdy as it can get, 1-0 in Big 12 play. And the country and the nation and ESPN and everybody start saying, this Texas team may have something going. Fans, get out to the field early, get out to the stands early. You want to see the students rush the field again. Go see you some Bevo Boulevard and then get in the stadium and be rowdy and ruckus more than you were at USC. This is Big 12. All right? You lose week 1 in Big 12, you got an uphill climb already. All right? Let's get this thing done. Let's wake the country up and let them know we're here to stay. We ain't going nowhere. Like Tom Herman said on, what do they call it? It was just on Longhorn Network. I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank on what they call it. And I watch it every week. I don't know why. But he was in the locker room and he told them, I give you permit to push your chips in. Push all your chips in. I give you permission to go all out. Do what you got to do. If you get a penalty by being aggressive, we'll get through it. Put your chips in. Go all in. You have permission to go all out, Texas. Let's go all out. Let's win this football game. Let's go 1-0. 1-0 in Big 12 play. And before I sign off, again, I'm picking Texas to break the streak. You can't beat Texas 5 years in a row. It ain't going to happen. All right? So, please, let's get this win. Thank you for listening. If you like what you hear, do me a favor, man. Hit thumbs up. If you don't like what you hear, if you put a thumbs down, let me know why, okay? Tell me, hey, man, you're just annoying. Or you don't know what you're talking about. Or that ring gets in my way. Whatever it is, all right? I like honesty. You guys be safe out there. Longhorn Nation, let's go beat TCU. Hook 'em.